Game live, what up? Honda game, what up? Just the omen. Started from the bottom, now we here. Man, that's that nonsense, we ain't going nowhere. Game live, you don't know it, then Google it. You ain't making it in the game, still top of shoot. Respect the shooter. To the night, just force and juice it, straight pipes it. Like we do them chicks and they like it. Motor like steroids, yeah, they built and juice it. If you got the next swing, you better say goodnight, man. My reach, just the omen.
From the Honda game and Pops Brothers Motorsports. This week has been a little bit difficult getting videos out. Been pretty busy. I've been working on the J2F S2K, but I figured instead of keeping the videos delayed and holding them back because of scheduling and all the other things that are going on right now, I actually had a little special treat for you guys. My friend Matt was able to get together some video of a race car he's been working on. If you guys been in any forums in the last decade or so, you would most likely have seen a post by him. He usually goes by the username, the Beave or the Beaver. He's a pretty badass fabricator and all-around builder. He's been working on this long-term project. It's a first-gen CRX. It's a SCCA car, and it's limited due to the class rules. He touches a lot of bases on some of the aspects of the car. So something pretty cool, something different for you guys to see. He's pretty badass. You guys gotta check him out. If you're not following him on Instagram, you definitely got to. You're gonna see the link to his account in the description. If you need anything fabbed up, give him a call. But quick little shout out again of the J2F is in progress. Doing last minute things. Pretty cold. I don't know if you can tell, but temperature definitely dropped lately. But let me go put the video on of him. If you have any questions, comments, you want to know a little more, put them down in the comment box. I'm sure he'll get to it when he can, or I'll try my best to answer it. Make sure to like, subscribe. We're trying to keep videos coming out to you guys. Alright, I explained to you guys, and probably the next video I'm going to make, break down a little bit of what is going on, the next few weeks, what to expect, and we'll keep it moving. Alright, let me move on to that.
Yeah, so this is the car that I've been working on. Steve asked me to get some video of it. You're gonna have questions, let Steve know, and I'll do my best to reply to whatever questions you've got. So this is a first generation CRX. It runs on road courses, most specifically in the SCCA H production class. It's built out to the rules pretty much, although this off-season we're tweaking for simplicity and optimizing some of the systems in the car. It's running an original D15A3 built to the rules, but it's highly modified on top of that. We're running Pro EFI, Pro 128 ECU, and these are actually 5.3 liter Chevy truck coils. And we've got a cam pickup there, and I modified an ATI damper to fit, and we're running the trigger wheel down there. All the oil lines you see are running to a remote filter, and also to a thing called an AccuSump that keeps the oil pressure up in case you lose oil pressure momentarily. It's not as good as a dry sump, but rules in the class prohibit running a dry sump. If you don't know what dry sump is, that's a whole other video. We've got camber plates, and some of you guys might be jealous. We've got original rays, but in a rare size. We're class limited to 13 by 6s. These things are so hard to find. We're working on getting some new fender flares that basically fit from the front here all the way down to the side and to the back. There's an old fuel cell. The new fuel cell is going to go where the stock tank is. that's where it should be. It's been running back here past the axle line, which isn't great for weight concentration. In here, got a whole bunch of stuff going on. That canister is the pressurized AccuSump. We've got a bunch of ballast in and around here to make class minimum weight, fire suppression bottle, big battery, because we're actually not running an alternator. That's a DC to DC inverter. It keeps the battery voltage constant, supplied to all the electronics. So we've got relays. There's a Pro EFI 128 box there. Racing seat. Since we don't have an alternator, we plug up to here with the generator and just a regular battery charger. I took out, we usually have cameras mounted on the cages there, front and rear, but we're changing out the dash to an AIM MXL2, and I have to do some work to get the cameras we have to work with the AIM system, because I don't actually really like their smarty cams. They're pretty overpriced and the video is okay, but it's not really all that great. Let's go around the other side. Oh, headlight scoop leads directly to the intake tube. There's a filter, right? Foam core filter with a radius inlet right there. And your Kirky driving seat fixed back. Of course, it's got belts and stuff in there, but they're out because I've been welding around here. So yeah, that's the main switch panel. Not much to it because we don't need much of anything else. Actually, the shifter box has been raised for exhaust clearance, and I like where it sits. The driver seems to be happy where it sits. Well, there's some stuff going on down there. It'll work on a new dead pedal over here for the driver. The one I made before actually sits up too high. The brake master, the master cylinder reservoirs, they're going to go over here. We'll mount it to the back side of that. That's where they were on the old dash. But this thing has two masters, one for the front, one for the rear. They're sized correctly. We haven't touched the brake proportioning. There's the brake proportioning valve right there. We haven't touched that ever. That seems to be working pretty well. And that's a pretty good overview. There's a whole bunch of other stuff, but I don't even know where to start with a lot of it. Lexan window for the front. We've got a Lexan rear just to cover the hatch up. Still got the stock glass. Not really sure it's worth it to take that out because it's real pain and it's not really going to save us all that much weight. Got the rare HF aluminum rear drums. Brakes are pretty much limited to stock, although with the rotors we are going to be moving to a custom aluminum center hat rotor in the stock diameter, so that'll cut down on a lot of rotational weight and should be really cool. And this thing here is actually something I custom made in order to keep the engine in place. Mostly you can see the ratchet strap goes underneath the engine and holds it in place so we can take the transmission out, because that's getting gone over by the guy who built it. Houseman, if you know, not cheap, but it's usually pretty good stuff. And there's a whole bunch of stuff down there that I did that you probably can't really see, but that's the oil cooler, custom radiator. Everything's blocked off. The block off panels are actually really cool. The front is on can't really see it, but usually, yeah, there's some aluminum you can see there. That's for mounting the front bumper beam, which is all custom aluminum. The rear is all custom aluminum. It usually has an air dam underneath, but it's too low to move the car in and out of the trailer and onto the lift, so we take that off for transport. Yeah, that's basically it. If you got any questions, hit me up. You can find me mostly on Instagram at Beaver Built, BeaverBuilt. You can get me on Facebook too, but I don't really like Facebook, so Instagram's probably the best bet. Or just hit up Steve Paz and he'll give me the questions and I'll see if I can answer your questions. I can't guarantee I can answer all of them, but if you got anything, let me know. Later.